Hi there, and welcome to the very first episode of Faithfully Feminist. This podcast was born out of a tension I think a lot of Christian women feel. We're told to be strong, but not too strong, to be holy without being weird, to love beauty, but not to be shallow about it, to be ambitious, but only in the right ways, to be seen, but not too much, and to be invisible, but still valuable. And that's a really weird space to live in, and yet it's where many of us find ourselves. Women who love Christ, who think deeply, who are trying to live well in a noisy and a confusing world. So, here we have this podcast, a small place for us, a place to ask hard questions, to explore the lives of women who came before us and Christian women now, to wrestle with theology, desire, sacrifice, friendship, ambition, joy, and pain, and to imagine together what it means to live a distinctly Christian womanhood that's not performative or Pinterest perfect, but deeply rooted in the true, the good, and the beautiful. And I thought, if we're going to begin this project, it makes sense to begin with a patron, someone whose quiet courage and spiritual fire shapes the soul of this whole thing. So today, I want to introduce you to Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, the doctor of the Church who teaches us what it means to be small in the holiest of ways. So, who was Thérèse? Thérèse was born in 1873 in France as the youngest of 5 daughters. Her family was devout, with her parents now being saints as well, but her early years were marked by real sorrow. Her mother died when she was just 4. That loss shaped her interior life profoundly. As a child, she was sensitive, intense, prone to scruples and deep emotions. But what's striking about that is how seriously she took her relationship with God. Even in weakness, even in struggle, she showed up to Him with everything she had. At age 15, she asked, and I guess begged might be the better word, to enter the Carmelite convent. She went all the way to Rome to ask the Pope for permission. That's not soft, that's strength. So, once in the convent, she lived a hidden life, cleaning, praying, serving her sisters. No mission trips, no Instagram moments, just the daily, unseen offering of herself unto God. This became the heart of her spirituality, what she called the little way, offering small things with the greatest of love, picking up pins, smiling when annoyed, praying in dryness, loving through the inconvenience. In a culture obsessed with performance, Therese reminds us holiness is hidden. And what a great example in the time of Lent. Love is quiet. Strength doesn't always look like battle. It often looks like surrender instead. So, what's wild though is that Therese was also deeply ambitious. She once said that she wanted to be a warrior, a priest, an apostle, a doctor, and a martyr. But she didn't throw a fit that God didn't make her those things. She handed him her longing and let him transform it. And such a surrender in this kind of ambition that I think a lot of women can relate to. She teaches us instead that spiritual ambition isn't about visibility. It's about total and complete love. It's the desire to give everything, even in a cloister, even in the kitchen, even in illness, even in every least desirable situation one can imagine. So, why is Saint Therese the patron of the project here? Um, she's the patron saint of this podcast because she completely and utterly flips the script. She loves in the biggest of ways through the smallest of means, and she shows us that faith doesn't have to be loud to be real, that suffering doesn't have to be public to be transformative, and that womanhood doesn't have to be performative to be powerful. She teaches us that it's okay to be small in the world if you're big in love, that interior lives matter, that God sees even the quiet offerings. In her own words, my vocation is love, and that's the center of this project too. So, with that being said, thank you for joining me at the start of this very small but very big journey. This season, we'll be exploring the lives of women, saints and seekers, mystics and mothers, writers and rebels, who show us what it means to live fully and faithfully as women of God. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world if you subscribed or followed, shared it with a friend, or leave a comment or review. More than anything, I hope you return. I hope you find a little room to rest in here. Until next time, stay small, stay brave, and stay rooted in love most of all.